Hey guys, what's going on? BlueCool97 here, and welcome back to another Minecraft Java Edition tutorial. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make an automatic flower farm. This thing grows the flowers, harvests the flowers, and collects the flowers. And by the way, this is on 1.16.5. It'll probably work on like 1.16.4 and some of those other versions, but that's the version I'm doing it on today. And this is Java Edition, by the way, so most likely this will not work in Bedrock Edition. But now guys, let's get started. And here is all the items you will need for today's build. There will also be an item list in the description and in the comments of this video, so make sure to go check that out. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take 3 droppers and place them facing upward. Like that, with the dispenser also facing upward. You can go ahead and break out the stone block here on the bottom. Then what you want to do is you want to place in a grass block here on top of this dispenser. Then what you want to do is you want to go 3 blocks out in each direction. So 1, 2, 3. 3 there, 3 there, and 3 here. Then go ahead and just fill in all of these areas here on the side so it makes a square. This will end up being a 7 by 7 square because that's the maximum radius that bone meal can affect. Oh yeah, something else that wasn't in the chest there is you will need some bone meal for this, so because that's what's going to go in this dispenser here. Next, what you're going to want to do is you want to get out your stone and you're going to want to make an outline along this entire thing. Then on the left side here, you're going to want to, from this corner block here, you're going to go in 1 block and come back to just like this and place stone going all the way along the length that there is grass here. Go ahead and take your pistons and place them on all of those stone blocks there and then chuck redstone dust on those just like that. Then come on the opposite side here and come out 3 blocks. Then place in all your blocks running along like this, with your pistons placed on all of those blocks, with redstone dust placed on all of those. Then go ahead and grab your observer and note block. So the note block is going to go on this stone block here, and the observer will run into this redstone line here. On the right side, the observer will get placed on the piston, and the note block will get placed behind the observer, just like that. So now, we should have a setup that looks something like this. So it should be able to be moved back and forth just like that. Then go ahead and just tap this to shut off the machine. And now, for the sake of this design, I'm going to just reset it so it looks its default way. Like that. So make sure that there is a gap here, and then no gap on this side, just because that's the setup that it's going to be in when I start this. Next, what you want to do is everywhere there's grass here, go ahead and place in some glass. So we should have something that's kind of set up like this. Just like that. And I did skip the corner here where this note block is placed in. Then go ahead and place in slabs on top of all of this glass. And on top of this note block there. The next thing we're going to start working on is the collection system. So find the middle kind of stone block here and come down 2 blocks and place in a large chest, chuck a sign on it, and call it flowers, because this is where all the flowers and everything is going to go. Then what you want to do is you want to place a hopper on top of this chest here, come back 1 with the hopper, and then go out 3 hopper lengths on each side. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This will ensure that you're covering the 7 by 7 area from the center of the droppers and dispensers here. So then what you'll want to do is then from the edges of each one of these hoppers, go back 6 blocks. Just like this. This will ensure that you are covering the 7 by 7 area. Then go ahead and just run hoppers going all the way back just like this. Now, when you get to the middle here, you're going to want to place in your 2 hoppers running into that hopper length there. Place 1 hopper here running into the side of this hopper, and then your 2 more hoppers right into that one. And then the last rows here are just the same of just placing in your hoppers going all the way along to the back here. Then what you want to do is you're going to want to take powered rails and throw those on top of all of these. Once you get all of the rails placed in on all of these hoppers here, you should have something looking like this. So even the hopper that comes all the way out here to the front should also have a rail on it. But then go ahead and take stone blocks and place them in front of all of the powered rails here on this side. So you should have something that kind of looks like this now. Then what you want to do is from this block here sticking out, come down one and over one, break out this block here, chuck in a redstone repeater, and chuck in a redstone torch here just like that. That will ensure that this line of powered rails is being powered without it powering this hopper here and clogging up the system. Then on the back here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place in stone blocks here on the back of all these hoppers with more powered rails out on those, with stone blocks placed in front of all of these power rails here, just like that. Then, from these stone blocks here, come down 2 blocks, break out this block here, run blocks going all the way across, and place redstone torches on all of these. This will ensure that all of these are being powered now. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and chuck in your minecart with hoppers now. I'm not going to do it because it gets really loud, and so I'm going to wait till the end. So the next thing we need to get set up is the bonemeal system, so you can dump the bonemeal into a chest and have it go into the top dispenser here. So for that, you're going to need a chest, a sign, some hoppers, observers, your sticky piston, your building block, your repeater, and your comparator. So what you want to do is from this redstone line here, on the right side by the way, place in a chest in front of that with a sign on it that says bonemeal. Then what you want to do is from this dropper here, you're going to want to bring a hopper line back until you get underneath this stone line here. Then bring it back until you get underneath this chest here. And then bring your hopper line all the way up till you come in contact with this chest here. Then what you want to do is from this dropper here, come down one and over one, break out this block, chuck in a redstone comparator, and put a block on the front of it facing it just like that. Next what you want to do is from this side of the droppers here, come back 2 blocks, break out this block, and chuck in observers facing into the droppers there. Then go ahead and break out that block there and chuck in 2 more observers facing upwards. Then what you want to do is you want to place in a block next to this upwards facing observer and place in a downwards facing observer. Go ahead and break out this block. Then come back 2 blocks, break out this block, and chuck in a sticky piston right into that observer here, just like that. Then what you want to do is place in a block next to the piston like that, put a redstone repeater on it, and put in a block of stone there, just like that. So now, go ahead and get out some bone meal. And I'm just going to go ahead and chuck in a stack for now. And we should see that as the bone meal comes in over here, that gets shot over there, and everything gets shot on up. And it should go all the way up into the top dispenser. Now to check to make sure this is working, come to the center block up here, break this out, and make sure all your bone meal is ending up in there. If it's not, then you did something wrong. And just like that, all the bone meal has now successfully ended up inside this dispenser. So now the next thing we need is the triggering mechanism for the bone meal. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to locate the middle of your flower, like grass patch here, and come out to the back of your system here. Then you can go ahead and break out this stone block here and place in an observer with a redstone repeater facing outwards, with another observer placed on top of that repeater, with a stone block placed on top of the observer just like that. Then go ahead and place in another stone block on top of that stone slab there. Come out one and up one just like that. Come over one and then break out this block here just like that. Then go ahead and chuck redstone dust on top of all of these. Take in an observer, place it out from that redstone dust. Then from this observer, place in a stone block, place in a sticky piston facing downwards with another observer facing downwards on that sticky piston just like that. Now, it is very important. In order for this thing to work, the observer needs to start in this position when this thing starts going. Otherwise, the timings get off and it doesn't work. So to make sure that that always happens, at least I've never had it break, we need to set up a system so when you shut this machine off, it'll end up in the retraction position. Otherwise, you're going to have to run in here and break it and replace it every time, and that just gets annoying. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place in a stone block on top of this redstone dust here. This is on the right side, by the way. Place a lever on that stone block, facing out towards this chest here, with a note block on top of that lever, with an observer facing out from that note block, with a block here placed by the observer, with a redstone repeater on maximum amount delay. Then from this piston here, you're going to want to place a line of blocks going all the way out to this repeater here, place in another block there in front of the repeater, and run redstone dust on top of all of this. Then go ahead and flip this lever. So now to start the system, what you will do is you'll flip this lever, wait for that to come up, and then you'll want to hit this left side here, and it will go back and forth, and the flowers will spawn in and get broken. Now, mine aren't actually being collected right now because I didn't chuck in the minecart with hoppers. I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Now, as you'll see, everything is being collected and ending up in this large chest here. To go ahead and shut this off, flip this lever. And as you will see, that thing just ended up in the retraction position. Now, because we're using a lever to shut this off, and you're not just tapping the note block here on the right, occasionally this might end up, I believe, in a position where you'll have to come over to the left side here and activate it again. So it won't always be consistent with you, being able just to activate it from the one side. You might have to come over to the other side and hit that eventually at some point as well. So just make sure both sides are accessible. As you can see, all the items are ending up in here. We ran that for, what, maybe 15 seconds. I mean, everything is still, like, in the middle of trying to, funnel through the system and everything. So I'll wait for everything to come in here, and then we'll see how much stuff we got just in just a little bit. Alright, so everything has now flowed into this large chest here, and as you can see, we got quite a bit of stuff. That's insane. And now let's check to see how much of the bone meal was actually used. Okay, so only 55 bone meal was used, and we got all of that, and none of this was even harvested. So that's more like 54 bone meal was used, because that didn't get finished harvesting. And we got all of this stuff, and it didn't even take that long to run, and literally it was just as simple as flipping a lever and hitting a note block, and we could stand there and just be AFK, and this thing was running and just got us a whole bunch of stuff. Well guys, that is all I have time for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. But guys, with that being said, have a great day, and don't forget to stay cool. See you guys. So guys, this was actually my first time ever building a flower farm. So if you know of any better ways for collecting the flowers, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make an updated tutorial of this. But guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.